I arrived in Thailand with curiosity, not authority. I was not born into the lineages of the Ajarn, not raised hearing kata whispered over rice fields at dawn. I was a foreigner, parang. Over time, through apprenticeship, repetition, silence, and many corrections, I was permitted to sit closer to the circle. Years passed before anyone called me Ajarn. A long time spent with a monk before I could even meet his Lucy brother. Even then, with the title, I wore the word carefully. Wicca means knowledge, but not the casual knowledge of books. Most of this is transmitted through oral traditions. You see, this Wicca, it is an embodied knowledge. It's transmitted breath to breath. In Thai, it is often spoken of as Vicha or Wicca, depending on the dialect. It's practical mysticism. It concerns protection, influence, healing, spirit negotiation, and the manipulation of subtle forces that most people sense but cannot quite articulate. The foundation is not magic, as many might come to think. It is actually discipline. Every morning would begin with Waihru when I was living with Lucy Lekpakti. The act of bowing to the teachers. Before amulets, before spirits, before mantras, there is humility. The kata, or incantations, are not spells in the Western fantasy sense. They're actually vibrational formulas. A common foundational chant is the Namo Buddhaya. Another is the Itipiso Bhagava. These are not random syllables. They're sonic structures refined over centuries. From a Western perspective, you could describe this as neuroacoustic entrainment. Repetition of rhythmic phonetics alters breathing patterns. Altered breathing patterns affect vagal tone. Vagal tone influences emotional regulation, and emotional regulation shifts perception. But what does perception shift? Well, perception shifted gives to the shaping of experience. The mystical enters through physiology. When I first learned to create amulets, pa krua, I was not allowed to mold anything. I simply observed. Clay was mixed with powdered herbs called wan. Some wan are botanical, some mineral, some symbolic. One, sabai chai, for calming. One, mahasane, for attraction. One, kongkrapan, for protection against blades. Whether or not one believes in their occult properties, these herbs carry scent molecules, alkaloids, and tactile textures that affect the nervous system. You hold an amulet long enough, and your body associates it with ritual states. That association is very powerful. Sacred powders were blended with bong itipiso, a chalk created from writing sacred syllables on slate boards and washing them into a paste. The act of writing and erasing mantras hundreds of times creates focused intention. Western psychology calls this conditioning. In Wicca, it is charging. There is also yant, sacred geometry inscribed with Kom script. Lines, circles, spirals, seed syllables. A yant is a map of cosmology. It encodes Buddhist cosmology, animist spirit belief, and numerology. When tattooed as Sakyan, it becomes a permanent psychological anchor. The recipient undergoes ritual, fear, pain, anticipation. Some of you may remember the time I got chopped with a machete. The yump becomes linked to courage and belonging. That is not placebo, that is embodied memory. But Wicca is not only internal, it is relational. Thailand never fully abandoned animism. Beneath Theravada Buddhism is a dense forest of spirit belief. P are spirits. Some are humans that have passed away. Some are natural spirits of the land. Some are fragmentary psychic residues of trauma. When villagers called me to banish something, they did not speak in psychiatric language. They said there was a P in the house. Banishing in Thai, often Kay Bon or Kay On, is less about aggression and more about negotiation. This is one of the differences with the Western Catholic approach to an exorcism or a clearing of a home and the Thai version. They come with war, we come with a dialogue first. So we observe the symptoms: night terrors, illness without diagnosis, sudden mood swings localized to one space. From a Western lens, many of these cases could be explained through stress, suggestion, family dynamics, environmental toxins, mold exposure, and even sleep paralysis. I never dismissed those possibilities. I always approached through a skeptical lens, but I learned to hold two frameworks